So tomorrow my car is going to be going in for to have the headlight replaced on this side. The LED is out right here. The driver's side, I had it actually replaced about, I want to say probably about 6 months or so ago. And this one is gone out, so the car's going to the dealership tomorrow. This is being replaced under warranty. So I thought I would give the car just a little bit of a cleaning. But before I really get it very clean, usually Monday mornings where I leave, landscapers come and they make a mess. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean just the hood itself and fix a couple of little rock chips. I don't know if you can see it, but right there, there's a tiny rock chip, and I think there's a few others that's here, but there's a pretty heavy coating of dust that's on the car, so I'm just going to try to get as much of this dust off of the hood, fix those rock chips, and then let it cure overnight, and then come back tomorrow and then wash the whole entire car. So that's what we're going to do now. I've got the Dr Colorchip kit, which is here. It's a really, really good product. Works really well. If you've never used it before, then I'll show you how to use it. So, all right, hope you enjoy. So the car is actually pretty clean at the moment, other than a lot of dust and a few really kind of light things on it. And so what I'm going to use is Griot's spray-on car wash. It actually has some speed shine mixed in with it, and so that's what I'm going to use to go ahead and kind of clean this off. And then I have a couple of Griot's car wash towels. They actually made these towels to work with the spray-on car wash, so that's what I'm going to use to clean this off. As you can see, it's fairly dusty. And I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm just gently wiping it off. And I'm going to fold my towel. Okay. So you can see I'm using quarters. Let's go ahead and do this side. Okay, so now I have all four sides. I'll flip this around, and now I have four more sides that I can use. So got a little something there. I'm not on the interstate that much, so I really don't have that much of an issue with rock chips, thank goodness. Okay, so I got that side dirty, that side dirty. Now let's use the other two. Okay. So surprisingly, I barely see any rock chips at all. I thought I had noticed more when I had cleaned my car the other day. Okay, so I'm going to look here and see if I can find any more rock chips. But before I do, let me see if I can try to get a little bit more. Got a little bit of streaks on the hood. It's fine, it's just driving me nuts. Okay, so there's one there. Okay, so I found two so far. There's another one. They're so tiny though. Really not an issue. But they're so tiny, I need something to kind of help me spot them. So I'm going to use blue painter's tape and a Sharpie. I can find them again. So there was one. See, they're so small I can't even find them when I'm looking for them. Okay, so there's one right there. Okay, I'll be right back while I find all these. Okay, so I've only managed to find about 3 tiny chips, and I'm going to show those to you now. You can hopefully see there's a small one that's there. There's another one that's there. Well, these are really, really tiny, to be honest. Move the light around, hopefully that kind of helps. So, just to give a little reference, this is a Sharpie, and so you can see they're still really tiny, but it makes sense to go ahead and try to correct these and fix these now before they get, any bigger. So I'm going to get the kit ready, and then I'll show you what to do from there. Okay? All right. Okay, so I've already used this kit once for some small chips that I had on my car. But as you can tell, it comes in a box like this. And once you open it, there's this package that's in there. I got the deluxe upgraded, or whatever you call it, package. Has some small droppers with it. This is a little squeegee, I believe is what that's called. Then this is a small rag towel, and I think this microfiber came with it too. I can't remember, but I think that it did. It came with the kit that I got. So now I still have to prep the openings with some rubbing alcohol. So where the chips are, you want to make sure you get all the wax and everything out of there. And so Here I have 3 brushes, just different kinds of assorted brushes to kind of help you. Here's the little pipes that's here, which is normally just what I use. And then you have, this is the paint that's here, which my car, I'm trying to remember what color my car is. It's a silver metallic. I can't remember the name of it now, but, and so basically you'll just dab this into the chips, and then you'll put this shellac on the rag, and then you'll wipe away the excess, and bada boom, bada bang. That's pretty much how it goes. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use the rubbing alcohol and try to get out any wax or any kind of buildup like that that's in the chips. Okay, so here I have some isopropyl rubbing alcohol, and then I have a small Q-tip here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this in the rubbing alcohol, shake off a little bit of the excess here. And I moved the tape back just a little bit so I could have some space to work. And right there, I just found another chip right there. Thought there was another one somewhere. Alright, so you just want to try to get all the wax and sealant or anything that you can out of these openings. Because if you don't, the paint won't stick. Okay, I'll put another piece of tape on this one so I'll remember where it's at. Okay, so I've cleaned those two. I'll just set it in the middle, be easier. And then we're going to clean the next two. So again, more rubbing alcohol. And you don't need a crazy amount of it either. Okay. And there's one more over here. Okay, I'm just going to let that sit for a moment and evaporate. Okay, so now we got the chips, the rock chips cleaned out with the isopropyl rubbing alcohol, and we used a swab to get in there, really try to make sure we got any kind of waxes and sealants out. That way we can make sure that the paint sticks. We can see that it's been laying on its side for a while, so it's really important to shake the far out of this stuff. Okay, so the next thing you want to do is you want to put on a latex glove, and what you're going to do is you're going to drop the paint, just a little dab of it right next to the rock chip, and then you're going to use your finger to just kind of smear it across. So because these are so tiny, I'm actually just going to put the paint on my finger and I'm just going to rub it in there. I'll show you here. Didn't go in there very good. Trip. Okay. So now as it dries, it's going to shrink. Okay. And so you're going to have to come back and probably do these a couple of times. Let's put a little drop. Oh, there it goes. Okay. So we'll let those two set for about 20 minutes or so. Okay, so it's been, what's it been, 20 minutes. Let me hit this with the flashlight. So you can tell if it's ready by, you know, just tapping on it, and, you know, there's no paint or anything. It's not tacky. And so I don't know how well you can see, but there's just a tiny little dimple in the middle that's right there. It's just right in the center of that. So the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to use the shellac, and then we're going to put a little bit of it on this rag, and then we're just going to gently wipe around it until it's gone. So you want to shake this up really well. Okay, and then after you've shaken it really well, you want to put some on a rag. You know, don't be afraid to use it. And then you just want to lightly, very, very, very lightly rub this area, and what it's going to do is it's going to start leveling. And removing the paint that you just put on there, and it's going to do nothing but leave what's left in the chip itself. So this takes a few minutes. You have to have a little bit of patience doing this. The amount of time that you spend doing this is going to determine your results. Okay. I'm going to put just a little bit more on here. Okay. And you don't want to press hard. Okay. And now it is pretty much gone. So, let me get the flashlight. You might be able to see it now. There's a tiny little speck that's right at the tip of my finger. I don't know if you can see that, but it is right at the tip of my finger. Now this is a 2-stage paint, so you know it's not going to be a perfect match because it's not going to have the metallic in it. But from, you know, right now I'm standing about 2 feet away and I can't even see it. So I don't think I'm even going to put, yeah, I'm not even going to put a second one on there. So let's go ahead and go on to the others. So where's the next one? So the next one is right there. And again, you just want to do this really lightly, you know, because you don't want to remove the paint that you just put in there. You just want to remove the excess. This one's got a little bit of a dimple to it, so I think I may have to do this one twice for sure. I need to get me a, yeah, that one I'm going to have to do it twice. So let me get the flashlight. To me, I can see it. There's a little dimple that's right at the tip of my finger. So I need to remove that one. Or fill that one again. So let me go ahead and move on to these additional ones. I wish I had better light in here, guys, sorry. Okay, so this one, there's a little dimple right there. I don't know if you can see it, but this one was there. So that one looks pretty good. I mean, now most of these, you know, it's not going to be perfect, especially if you have a car like mine that has a two-stage paint on it. But once you go through this process, that one was right there. Once you go through this process and then, you know, you clean all this off and then, you know, get all the excess off of it, it turns out, it looks pretty good. So now we're going to use this cloth. And this cloth, I'm pretty sure they did give that to us. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just kind of try to buff some of this excess away. I'm not going to put a sealant or anything on this until, you know, it's had a chance to fully cure, you know, for at least 24 hours. Okay, so let's remove that one. Okay, let's see if we can find where we did the repairs. So as you can tell, I mean, you can't even see them. The only way that you can see these is if you are just right on it. And as of right now, we are about 6 inches, and I can't even see them from here.